Across the country, Black women are describing the same experience, applying to job after job, sometimes in the hundreds, and hearing little to nothing back. It is personal, and the data shows that what many Black women are feeling individually is also happening collectively across the labor market. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, unemployment for Black women has risen sharply over the past year. At the start of 2025, the unemployment rate for Black women was about 5.4%. By the end of the year, it had climbed to 7.3%. In early 2026, the rate is still high, around 6.3%. For comparison, unemployment for white women is about 3.4%, and for women overall, around 4%. Black workers as a whole currently have the highest unemployment rate of any racial group, at 7.2%. These gaps aren't random. They reflect deeper structural shifts in the labor market. Black women are saying the same thing. They have strong qualifications, years of experience, and solid work histories, but their job searches are long, exhausting, and often met with silence. This isn't about effort. It's about a labor market that has tightened in ways that hit Black women the hardest. Federal employment has historically been a stabilizing force for many women of color, especially Black women, who make up a larger share of the federal workforce than in the private sector. But in 2025, federal agencies reduced staffing. The impact was immediate. Bureau of Labor Statistics data shows that federal employment continued to decline into early 2026. Even though the biggest wave of layoffs happened last year, the effects are still unfolding. A pathway that once offered stability and mobility has narrowed. On top of that, the dismantling of diversity, equity, and inclusion programs across industries has reshaped the hiring landscape. As diversity, equity, and inclusion offices closed, and diversity roles were eliminated, the structures that supported equitable hiring practices disappeared. Since then, the data shows slower callbacks, less transparency in hiring, and more vulnerability to bias, especially for college-educated Black women, who have seen some of the steepest drops in employment. The rollback didn't just remove programs, it removed accountability. The rise in unemployment among Black women isn't just about the broader economy. It reflects the combined impact of federal workforce cuts, shifting hiring priorities, and the loss of diversity, equity, and inclusion infrastructure. The result is a labor market where qualified candidates face longer searches, fewer opportunities, and higher barriers to entry. Tracking this data is important, but so is recognizing the ways women of color can protect themselves in a changing job market. Sharing information about job leads, hiring experiences, and workplace conditions can reduce isolation and offer a clearer picture of where real opportunities exist. Keeping notes on interviews, communication patterns, and hiring decisions can help identify bias and support future advocacy. It is also helpful to pay attention to employers that continue to show a real commitment to equity, organizations with transparent hiring practices, diverse leadership, and clear accountability structures tend to create better outcomes for women of color. Directing time and energy toward these workplaces can reduce the emotional and financial strain of long job searches. When women of color speak openly about their experiences, support one another, and contribute to research that highlights these trends, it becomes harder for employers and policymakers to overlook what is happening. Continued tracking and analysis will be essential for understanding these shifts and pushing for workplace practices that support fairness, accountability, and long-term stability.